This will be a quicker video. You should buy a Wii. That's it. That's the thesis. I mean, if you're a person with the money to do so, I don't already own a Nintendo Wii, buy one now, preferably in good condition. The first Wii's had the GameCube controller ports and had the backwards compatibility. The second one is not so much, dumbed it down a little bit, and the Wii Mini is iffy. But you should get one. Um, there's a thing called the nostalgia cycle. A product releases, like a game console, for the first two, game console generations tend to be a bit longer than normal electronics. So say the first 5 to 7 years on, even, is just the production run and it's the current generation. After 5 years, after that, so about 10 to 15 years in, it's just the old console. It's just the previous gen. There is no nostalgia factor. The people who own the console haven't grown up significantly enough to have nostalgia about it. 20 years, something happens because the people who had them as a kid are now in uni, or the people who had them when they were, you know, just married now have their kids grown up in kindergarten. So there's a nostalgia band that sort of occurs over the 20 years. The same thing happens with cars, mind you, and movies, music, most forms of media. So consoles go through this cycle almost always. I mean, to be honest, almost always. I remember not too long ago, people would like when I was in middle school, people would be like, "Dude, like the PS3 is like never gonna be nostalgic. Like it's just too new and like HD graphics. Like it's not gonna." People are like, the PS2 is where it's at for like peak golden era gaming and like you know now the PS2 is a bit of a bad example on my behalf because they produced a bajillion of them. The PS3 also was produced a lot, but in lesser quantities. But the fact of the matter is that at the time that seemed to be true. It's like, oh, who would be nostalgic for a HD game console, right? But that's not true. Right now, you go on secondhand electronic shops and whatnot, and like eBay or wherever you buy your stuff from, and PS3s in good condition are going for more than PS4s. I've seen a like inbox, good condition PS3 Slim in a nice white color, white quartz I think it's called, for what was it, like 300 euros. Like a PS4 Slim is like $100 now. So yeah, everything has a nostalgia cycle. Maybe not the Google Stadia, maybe not the failed game consoles, but even then, I mean, people are starting to get nostalgia for the PSP era, which is weird because I had a PSP as my first console when I was in primary school. Um, so yeah, it's time to get a Wii, or any other console from the sixth gen. To be honest, I mean, a nice working 360 would be cool. Although lesser so because the 360 is backwards compatible enough with the Xbox One for most people, and plus some games are now coming to PC, so that's cool. The PS3 is also iffier. A lot of the games on the PS3, like the top, best ones, were on PS4 with remasters and whatnot, and the ones were not. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, buying a whole console for just a couple games, if that's how you want to roll, I'm fine with that. But again, the issue is the early PS3s. They're a bit iffy. I hear the PS3 Fats are not very reliable. The PS3 Slims are a bit better. The Super Slim is probably the best, uh, but not the best like quality of material, if that makes sense. And that leaves us with the Wii. The Wii. They are dirt cheap, and I do mean dirt cheap. I mean we're talking what I've seen some for go for like 30 to 50 euros for like a complete V-mount included working Wii. Now, I'm in Western Europe. Prices in your area might differ. I apologize. It might be cheaper, more expensive. But if you're someone who likes the Wii or wants to try the Wii because they didn't get it when they were younger, this might be the time because we're getting to the inflection point where the Wii is becoming nostalgic. I've seen several dozens of social media posts about the Wii, surrounding the whole Fruit of your Arrow aesthetic, the nice like airy 2000s like bubbly glass, you know what I mean. The whole aesthetic, um, and also Wii's just are reliable. I mean, not all of them. Mine currently seems to be having a bit of a disc read issue where sometimes it won't read the disc and whatnot. But they're cheap enough right now where you can just get one working, and the games are cheap too. Not the best titles though. The the Super Smash Bros. And the Pokemon, what was it? Battle Stadium, I think it's called, and the Super Mario Galaxy 2s of the world. They're 25-ish euros, maybe more. That's a lot of money for a game, at least for me. Some people pay $80 for NBA 2K, so I don't know, or 100 for FIFA. But if you're interested at all in the Wii, I suggest you get in there right now. I do. Uh, One of the things that is interesting to me is how not cheap the Wii U still is. I mean, the Wii U hasn't had a title release since 2017, I believe. Most people forget, but the Wii U does actually play Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is kind of funny to think about. That it was a Wii U release before it released on the Switch. But I don't know. They're just not that cheap. I mean, there's not many of them out there, so that probably contributes a little bit. But they're still going for like 100-ish euros, sometimes even more for like the higher storage versions, with games included, I imagine. Another console that I wanna put a quick buy now if you can option is, in the near future, look at the original base Switch and the Switch Lite especially. The Switch Lite is controversial because it's just super nerfed, right? Because it's a Switch that doesn't switch, and the screen is a bit iffy. But if you just forget the Joy-Con drift and whatnot and the iffy screen, you have the entire Switch library to yourself. Okay, a lot of games, and they're getting cheap. The other day, I was at a game reseller, and I saw a normal, working man's 2DS sell for more than a Switch Lite. They had an electric blue 2DS, which is the one that I actually have myself, sell for more than a Switch Lite. And I like my 2DS. I like my, even though the little plastic on the joystick's gone and whatnot, I like my 2DS. But if you ask me which is the better console, I'm not sure I would be able to answer that question. The Switch Lite offers a lot. I mean, you get the modern Switch UI and a huge game library. And people forget that, unless you like platformers, the 3DS library is not as rich and bountiful as some people remember it to be. There's a lot to like. I certainly do. I mean, I play Pokemon Rumble, so I'll play anything, it turns out. But, the Switch Lite if you find it for $70 with the charger included, think about it. Anyways, that's it. Sub 10-minute video, baby. Let's go. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.